All right, good morning, everybody. Today we're here to celebrate Veterans Day, a special time to honor the men and the women who have served in the United States Armed Forces. But we're also here to talk a little bit about something we all know about, collaboration, or working together.
In our classroom, collaboration means helping each other learn. When we work in groups, we listen, share ideas, and make sure everyone has a voice.
Sometimes it's not easy. We might not agree at first, but when we respect each other and find solutions together, our work turns out even better.
The same teamwork is what makes our military strong. In the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force, no one works alone.
Soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines have to trust another completely. They train together, plan together, and look out for each other every day.
In a way, a military unit is like a classroom. Everyone has a role, everyone contributes, and everyone's success depends on teamwork.
When a class works together, great things happen, like finishing the big project we put together. When our military works together, great things happen too, like keeping our country safe and protecting our freedoms.
Collaboration takes communication, trust, and respect.
It means putting others before yourself, just like our veterans have done for our country.
It means never giving up even when things are tough, because your team is counting on you.
So the next time that we work together in class, let's remember the example our veterans have set for us: to be brave, dependable, and always willing to help one another.
Thank you to all our veterans for showing us what true teamwork looks like.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, fifth grade. That was very good. Excellent. We want to recognize different branches of the military, and we have some veterans here. But I know that there are also students in our school who have veterans in their family who are not able to attend. So if I say a branch of the military, and you have someone in your family who is served in that branch of the military, students, I would also like you to stand as well. I have several family members, and none of my family members can be present either. So, Air Force, do we have family or people present today that have served in the Air Force? Thank you for your service. We will talk to you in a few minutes, but it's kind of nice to see the branches of the military that are represented. Emily, is going to share with us about the Air Force. Thanks, Emily.
One of the branches of the U.S. military is the Air Force. This branch began on September 18, 1947. Its origins trace back to 1907, when the U.S. Army Signal Corps created the Aeronautical Division, the precursor to the Air Force, to explore the potential of aviation. The Air Force is responsible for defending the airspace, space, cyberspace, and by providing global power protection. There are currently over 689,000 total active servers in the Air Force. Their motto is aim high, fly, fight, win. This motto, adopted in 2010, is a call to action that reflects the Air Force's goals and its culture of striving for excellence.
Thank you, Emily. The next branch of the military we want to recognize is the Navy. If you have served in the Navy and can stand or wave your hand, we would like to recognize you. Thank you, Mr. Beers. Yes, please stand. If you have had someone in the Navy in your family also, and you are a student in the school, we like to see those too. Not everybody can always be present. Thank you for your service. We will talk to you, those that are here, in a few minutes. Thank you. Navy, Madison, please tell us about the Navy.
One of the several branches of the U.S. is the Navy. It began on October 13, 1775, when the Continental Congress established the Continental Navy to fight the British during the Revolutionary War. The Continental Navy started in 1775 and went to 1785. The foundation of the modern Navy started in 1794. The Steel Navy was following the Civil War. The Navy heavily invested in new technology, introducing the battleship in the 1880s. A fun fact about them is that the U.S. Navy was actually formed twice.
Thank you, Madison. The next branch of the military that we want to recognize are the Marines. Do we have someone from the Marines? I had someone in the Marines. Thank you for your service. Thank you. 1, 2, some, yep. Where's my grandkids? They should be standing. You got somebody in the Marines. Okay, Marines. Ella, please share with us about the Marines.
Another branch of the military is the Marine Corps. The history of the U.S. Marine Corps began on November 10, 1775, when the Second Continental Congress authorized the creation of 2 battalions of Marines for service in the Revolutionary War. The Corps was established as a permanent, separate branch of the military under the Department of the Navy by Congress on July 11, 1798. There are currently 226,000 people serving in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps fought in the Mexican-American War, including the capture of Mexico City, and played a key role in World War II's Pacific Theater.
Thank you, Ella. And didn't they just celebrate 250 years yesterday? Yeah, we gotta recognize that. That's kind of special. I did hear that too. The next branch of the military that we want to recognize is the Army. Army people, please stand. Yes, I had Army. Thank you for your service. Thanks for being in uniform. Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for your service. Truly appreciate you. Have a seat, please, and we'll talk to you in a few minutes. Maya, please tell us about the Army.
The next branch of the U.S. military is the Army. This branch began in June 14, 1775, when the Continental Army was formed to fight in the Revolutionary War. This branch is the oldest out of all of them. The official motto of the U.S. Army is "This will defend," which was adopted in 1778 and appears on the Army official's seal and flag. The motto represents the Army's enduring mission to protect the nation. There are currently 445,475 active duty soldiers in the Army.
Thanks, Maya. The next branch of the military that we want to recognize is the Coast Guard. Anybody here from the Coast Guard? I had a family member who served in the Coast Guard, both in Hawaii and in Sault Ste. Marie, up north. Bentley, please share with us about the Coast Guard.
The Coast Guard. The modern United States Coast Guard was established on January 28, 1915, when the Revenue Cutters Service merged with the Life-Saving Service. However, its history traces back further to August 4, 1790, when President George Washington signed the Tariff Act creating the Revenue Cutters Service to enforce trade laws and prevent smuggling, making it the predecessor of today's Coast Guard. It is a military branch with approximately 83,000 people on active duty that focus on marine environmental protection as well as search and rescue.
Thank you, Bentley. And then the last branch of the military is the Space Force. It is the newest formed, and the chances of having someone here are very slim because it's not very old. But I have been told by veterans in the past that we have someone from our local area who is currently serving in the Space Force. I'm not sure if that's true this year. It was last year. So, Addison, please share with us about what the Space Force is.
The newest branch in the U.S. military is the Space Force. The Space Force was established on December 20th, 2019. This is the newest branch since the last one in 1947.
It is the sixth branch of the U.S. Armed Forces. There are roughly 15,000 active members in the Space Force. They do many different things for us, including going into space war and protecting space.
Thanks, Addison. Then we have 2nd through 5th graders. You have a special gift to share with us. Please come forward so that you can do that. Thank you, guys. That was awesome. You're wonderful. Loved it. We're going to go through some of the wars that we in the United States have participated in, just because it's kind of neat to see who some of our veterans are here today. We began with the American Revolution back, and that's how we became a country. We teach these things in our classroom, but it's kind of neat to have your presence here because that makes it more real for us. back in 1775 when we wanted to become the United States of America. War of 1812, U.S. Civil War in 1861, World War I between 1914 and 1918, World War II between 1939 and 1945. There are not many veterans that are alive. We know that very well from that time and that era. Each time we hear one in the news and we think, wow. Korean War, but we have some people here from the Korean War. Would you please stand if you served in the Korean War? Thank you, Mr. Adlam. Thank you for your presence and for being here. We'll hear about that in a minute. For the veterans who are here who have served in Vietnam, would you please stand? Thank you for your service. Are there any veterans here who have served in the Persian Gulf War? Thank you. Thank you for your service. How about the invasion of Afghanistan? I have family members that have been in Afghanistan. You were there too? Thank you for that. Invasion of Iraq. Wow, thank you. Wow. Thank you. Ukraine. Not anybody here. You'd have to be pretty young and you might be over there. And Israel is our last one. But we have a lot of people who are veterans here who did not serve overseas, but you served with the capacity that if you had to go, you would go, and you still served, and your service was just as important. If you served in the military and it was not overseas, but you served here or someplace else, would you please stand because you're important to us as well. I'm going to interview you in a minute, and then I'm going to let you talk. You can say what you want to think about that. You got about 2 minutes. Then I'm going to. I promise. 3rd and 4th graders, you have a poem that you are going to share with us. Thank you, 3rd and 4th graders. That was wonderful. Loved it. Loved it. Now my favorite part of the program, because I don't need to talk all the time, I would like our veterans who are present here today to please introduce yourselves. If there's a student, you gotta stand up and tell us who is here. And I want to know the branch of the military that you served. I want to know where you served. And I want to know what you did when you served. Because we love your stories. I love hearing them. I promised.
Well, good morning. Forgot one operation, Enduring Freedom, and we transitioned to Operation Inherent Resolve. This is in Iraq, and this is where I was. And there is evil on this planet, and we are soldiers for Christ. Let me tell you that. And I'm not a public speaker. I've never spoken to many people before. I thank you for your appreciation, all of you children, honestly, and it's really important that we don't lose our way of life here in America, because we're a country created and under God. There's a lot of history that you guys are going to learn, and stay focused and be the tip of the spear for Jesus, and always wear the armor of God wherever you go. And don't be ashamed anywhere to hold strong to anybody who's going to oppose your words, because once things become clear, it will be worth it more than I can even explain to you. I can't wrap all of history up into a nutshell right now, but it's very important. You're very important. And all the children here are what every single veteran has laid their life down for. And I would do the same anytime. In specialist times, United States Army, artillery, I served 14 months in that sandbox, and don't go there.
Thank you. I am willing to learn. If I make a mistake, please tell me, because I am willing to learn and know more always. All right, Hunter, you're proud of this man. Please stand up and tell us who he is.
This is my grandpa. His name is Dan Zuzga.
I'm Dan Zuzga. I was in the Air Force from 66 to 1972. I was an illustrator in the Air Force and branches of the service. Things that you find around the base, training materials all the way to briefings, and all signage are done by illustrators which are in the services. That was where I was participating. I was in Formosa, which is Free China. We were a direct support group for Vietnam. The C-130s, KC-135 refuelers came off the base where I was. And thank you all for being here.
My great-great-great-grandfather came over here with Reverend Auk and established this church. And he and Mr. Auk wanted to deliver the message of God to the natives who were here. And history continues, and here we are. So we just can't forget the Word of God, please. It's very important in our world today.
And you know that your grandfather, that Amanda will be celebrating 175 years as a church in 2027. But he also helped form St. Paul in Unionville, which will be celebrating 150 years next year. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Really. He said his grandpa built a museum out there. Love it, love the stories. I'm going to claim this man. This is Mr. Warren Beers. Mr. Warren Beers, you don't have to stand up. I didn't make you. Before I became a teacher, I worked at the dairy barn with Mr. Beers, so I'm claiming him.
That was more fun than being in the Navy. I was in from 57 to 61, and most of the time I spent on a destroyer making med cruises. Nobody was shooting at me, but it made me feel good. And it was quite an experience.
Thank you for being here today. Love your stories. Love your stories.
Good morning. My name's Kenny Walls, and I was in the U.S. Navy from 1979 to 1985, and I was on board a cruiser, which the job of a cruiser is to protect the aircraft carrier. So we had And the cruiser that I was on was kind of special because we didn't have to stop for gas because it was powered by nuclear power. So we could go for about 15 years without ever stopping for gas. And I worked down in the engine room and made that reactor run. That was my job.
Kenny Waltz his sister-in-law is Mrs. Waltz, who is our reading teacher here at the school. And also Chris Waltz is his sister, who works as librarian in Unionville for us. So we are grateful for both of them as well. All right, introduce.
My name is Nora, and this is Jimbo.
Jimbo. All right.
She always calls me Jimbo from day one. I'm Jim Bratton. I served in the United States Air Force. I served for the National Security Agency, which was intelligence. And just to clarify, I served during the Vietnam War, but I did not serve in Vietnam. My 4 years in Alaska was at base, or in the Air Force was basic training, and then I spent 3.5 years in Alaska copying Morse code. I think I've asked this question before, but do any of you young ones know what Morse code is? Good. So that's what I did for 3.5 years, and I obtained the rank of Staff Sergeant, which put me in charge of a whole group of guys. So thank you very much.
Uncle Greg Treater, U.S. Army.
Specialist Fifth Class Greg Treater. I served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 1971. I served in Vietnam from 1968 to 1970. Thank you.
This is my grandpa, Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary Ertman, and I served in the Army, 71, 72, with military police. We trained dogs, and I've had the pleasure of seeing the whole Hawaii, Philippines, Japan, and I'm glad to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Scott Myers. I served in the U.S. Army Airborne from 1972 to 1974. I was with the 82nd Airborne Division. I typed discharge papers for people coming back from Vietnam. And I was also in Iraq during Iraqi freedom as a contractor.
Appreciate.
My name is Dick Newman. I'm a lifelong member of this congregation. And first of all, I'd like to thank River Schultz, my lovely granddaughter, River. I see you, girl. I was in the U.S. Navy from 1966 to 1972. I spent 18 months in the Gulf of Tonkin in support of the 7th Fleet, and following 12 months in Vietnam in the Mekong Delta region. I guess that's it.
Tell us your story. You're the only one who gets to tell, so whatever you say, we're not going to argue with.
Okay, I was drafted in '52 and went to Fort Knox, Kentucky. 16 weeks of light infantry basic. Everybody was going to Korea. And I happened to take typing in high school, and when we got done basic, they asked who could type, and I raised my hand, and there was a couple others. So they give us a leave, and we come back in 10 days, and some guys, two lieutenants come in, and you come with me, you come with me. And I went with this one guy, and we went to the Separation Center on Fort Knox, Kentucky, and I worked there the rest of my career, which was 2 years. And it was very, I would say, it's so nice to see all these guys coming back. We worked with all these people getting discharged, and it was a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story. I love it. Love it.
I'm Jack Beeler, Army 6568. I was with a K9 Sentry Dog Company. Spent a year and a half in Vietnam, and I'm proud of all you guys.
Okay, when these guys sometimes talk, you're behind them and I'm in front of them, and I see their tears in their eyes, and it's kind of hard to watch because I get a special view. Oh, please introduce.
I brought my Uncle Terry.
I'm Terry Bedore. I served in the U.S. Army from 1983 to 2009. I started off with Hawk missiles, and then Patriot missiles for the Gulf War, civil affairs for Iraq and Afghanistan.
It's a long service. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Jake Feebig, and I brought my Uncle Buck.
I'm David Yoder, and I served in the United States Army from 1988 to 1999. I originally went in as a food service specialist. I was a cook in the Army. I was stationed in Germany. And the unit I was in a CAV unit, and they guarded the border between East and West Germany. And while I was there, the border opened up and Germany became one Germany, which was kind of historic. And also, while I was there, and I'm bringing this up, I usually don't talk about it too much, but when I was there, the Honorable Dick Cheney, he was the Secretary of Defense for the United States. And he actually came through our mess hall, and I got to make him an omelet, which was pretty cool. But this last week, he passed away. He was 84 years old, so his funeral will be this Friday. But that was kind of a cool thing that I got to do. So that's it. Thank you for all the being here.
And the stories that are not written down.
Veterans appreciate this very much. I'm going to tell you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I brought my Uncle Round.
I'm Rodney Trimner. I served in the U.S. Navy on board the USS Wasp. My duty was A Division Yeoman. Basically what I did was the paperwork for the division. There was 90 men in the division. And I had to make assignments to standing watch and taking care of transfers and people that were shipping out. That was my job, to keep track of them. I had served from 57 to 59.
This is my dad.
I'm also here with Emily and Reagan Saddleberg, but my name's Sergeant Jonathan Clark. I was in the United States Marine Corps from 2013 to 2018. pretty much a flight technician, flight mechanic, and then I went into oversee the planes we send to Operation Inherent Resolve, put together strike packages to bomb ISIS out of the mountains. So, thank you.
And I had Charlotte say, this is my dad, because Charlotte is in preschool at Christ the King Lutheran School. And this is her dad, and she's very proud of him. She just knows him as Daddy. But there's two more people that I think need to talk. And I know one is right here, and where's your brother? Come here, David. Tell us about your mom.
My mom's name is Alexis.
And where is she right now?
She is in Georgia.
She's in Georgia. Which branch of the military does she work in?
She works in the Navy.
In the Navy. And she is in the Navy right now. She's still serving and working in the Navy. Yeah. Their mom is still serving and working in the Navy. She is down in Georgia. And David is in 5th grade. You guys grew up and then I kind of lose track. And Dustin is in 1st grade. And their mom is down there serving right now. But I think that they need to be recognized because their mom is currently serving right now. She's not able to be here. Thank you, guys. To you veterans who are here, thank you. Thank you for sharing your stories. Thank you for your presence here today. We truly appreciate you. At the end of the program, I'm going to ask that you please remain for minutes so that I can take a picture with you and your with family members or just you. We appreciate the stories, love the stories that you share. 6th graders, have a handbell selection for us. That was wonderful. And Madison Rydell is going to lead us in a closing prayer, please.
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for all the men and women who fought for our country. We thank you for their willingness to answer the call and are grateful for each of them. Their courage, sacrifices have not gone unnoticed. Continue to watch over them and bless them in all they do. Please continue to be with those who are bravely serving today. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Madison. 2nd through 8th graders, you guys are going to be dismissed. 2nd through 8th graders, you're going to be dismissed in the great room. Mrs. Waltz has put together a really wonderful and interesting display of some things. If you'd like to walk through there on your way back to the school, you are more than welcome to. To those of you guests that are here today, thank you very much for your presence, for being here today, the extra guests in the background. Veterans, I want a picture of you, please, if I can. Appreciate you very much. And we have a reception for you in the great room after I get your picture. So thank you.